Hello everyone and welcome to the StudsUp podcast. I am Garfield. I'm here with my co-host, as always, Simon Says, and we are about to do a review of the round that just was in the English Premier League. We're going to go through all the results, see how bad we were at it, see how occasionally good we were at it. By the way, if you'd love to give us some feedback, we'd love to hear from you. You can go onto our Facebook page. It's just StudsUp. It's so easy to find. Or you can go to our website, studsup-football.com. Simon Says, let's start with the game of the round, Tottenham versus Leicester City.
What a good way to start, because I tipped this one and you didn't.
Oh, well, there you go.
Let's establish my prowess.
Aren't you off to a happy start?
Like a Melbourne Cup winner.
And it's only going to get happier for you from here.
I know.
Did you bet on the Melbourne Cup? Do you ever bet on the Cup?
Look, I actually made a comment just yesterday to somebody. I've bet every year. So I don't know if you recall this. Garfield and I went to school together.
We did.
And I had a really good run.
For anyone who listens internationally, we're in Australia and the Melbourne Cup is the game that stops a nation, where everyone kind of leaves work and goes and watch a horse racing game. It's the only time of the year that Australians ever do it. It's the only time we care about horse racing unless we're a hardcore punter.
Yeah.
Anyway, to
100%.
continue your story, we went to
100%.
school together.
Yeah, and I picked like 4 in a row, and I was the oracle when we were back at school.
Right, you were quite good at that.
Yeah, but since then, I've bet on it 15 times now in a row.
Right.
And I bet the same amount every year, because I'm not really a gambler, so I bet $5 every year on the winner.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I have lost 15 in a row. I didn't even pick the years Maccabi Diva kept winning, because I kept thinking, well, I missed it the first year because I just thought the favourite never sort of wins.
Yeah, and after that you're like, there's no chance.
No chance,
There's no chance.
Exactly, so literally, I've managed to, the grand sum total of 0 picks. I'm not only not the horse whisperer, I'm the horse speech impaired. That is quite how far off I am.
I'm waiting for the story to go, until this year. Oh no, you still suck.
I didn't even watch it this year. I was working. So
yeah, I didn't. I was also working. I didn't watch it. Anyway, congratulations to insert horse here.
Madden or something like that.
I don't even care. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, Facebook was throwing it in my face.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the football.
Yeah, which is something I did pick.
Yeah, you did get this
Not
right.
only did I get the result, but I got the score right
well
as well.
Done.
So, dinner on you tonight.
Oh, what? How does it? Okay.
Look, these are the other rules. I make these up as we go.
Yeah, you clearly do.
I got to say, when you picked 1-0, though, I wasn't really against that. It kind of made sense. I thought, well, Champions League.
Any result there could have made sense.
Yeah, any result could have made sense. But I think that Tottenham would feel aggrieved by 1-1 because I think they had the better running in the game.
Yeah,
yes, Leicester played a Leicester match and they counter-attacked and, they were always in it. And I really did like Vardy's, little ball to Musa, even though Musa got crunched.
He got smashed.
In that goal.
He got hammered.
He got
Still a
hammered.
nice goal, but hammered.
Yeah, some say his corpse still lies there rotting. Honestly, it was really bad. But I just, on balance, I would have said Tottenham should have won that game.
It was like watching a crash test dummy be taken out by one of those just into a speed crash. It was like...
And worse, he tried to get up, and it was almost like a boxer having an embolism.
Yeah.
He just collapsed
like
back
he was
down.
punch drunk, just like...
And then he just couldn't get back up, and he was done.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Still,
really
good goal.
It was a great goal. And I think for that alone, maybe they deserve their 1-1. I don't know.
Maybe.
But honestly, that was a good result for Leicester, bad one for Tottenham, because Tottenham, as much as they remain undefeated, I mean, they're sliding.
4 draws in a row.
I'm not going to say they're losing touch with the top group because, I mean, they haven't.
No.
But I mean, from being pretty much the favourite, once the favourites started to falter, I mean, now, they're kind of doing their best to hold on to
top 4,
that top 4 group, because now, just looking now at the points, 20 points, they're 3 points. 3 points off the lead.
Oh, it's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing.
But in the context of the season, that could be a lot.
Could be.
This season's 3 points was last season's, 6.
6, totally.
So,
I agree.
I don't know. I think they need to turn it around, and they can't rest too hard on the fact that they haven't lost a game yet, because 5 draws is a lot.
Where's Leicester now sitting at the table?
Yeah, so we've got Leicester in 11th, so that's still not great for them. But considering the horrible start they've had, 12 points... that's not awful. They're only, 6 points off 6th place with Everton.
Yeah.
That over the course of a season, they can definitely recoup that and finish the season strongly. But anyway, I think it was a good game for Leicester. I don't think it was a good game for Tottenham.
No,
tons of shots.
Not.
Even though Jansen finally broke his duck and got the goal he needed via a penalty.
Even still, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Many a very good striker has started a career off by getting a penalty first.
I just don't like it. I'm a purist.
Fair enough.
I'm a purist, so I don't know. I didn't love the way he got off the mark.
Do you prefer that goal, like from the spot, or Javier Hernandez's first goal, Chicharito's first goal, where from about 3 yards out, he went to toe poke it in, the toe poke went and hit him on the head, and then went into the back of the net?
It was glorious because at least it was funny.
It was hilarious.
Memorable.
It is one of the great comedy goals of all time.
I would take that one.
You'd take that over the penalty?
Would, because at least you can look back, laugh at it. When he's making speeches later in life, he can point to that and say, my ultimate failure was the ultimate start to my career. So whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I can't.
There's something there. Whereas penalty, no one remembers a penalty.
No, but if it's the one that kickstarts a career,
yeah, but no one will point to it. Even if he becomes a 30-goal a season striker, no one's going to point to his penalty. No one.
No, true.
They'll just say in one random trivia fact, "Did you know?" And then you'll be like, "Yeah, who cares?"
No, I think the trivia fact might be more like, what was the name of the Dutch player who played for Spurs in 15-16?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but anyway,
not a bad call. But
yeah,
I'm glad I picked it, nevertheless, and I'm glad you didn't pick it.
Well, let's move on to the other one that I did pick and you didn't pick.
Oh gosh, let's not do that.
No, Everton versus West Ham.
Yeah, but I mean, let's. Okay.
As you have an annualism of your own. Let's
be
there,
fair
mate.
here. Mm-hmm. Let's be fair. Yeah. I did say that I wasn't against your pick there.
You did say that.
I picked the draw only because I felt that Everton... Think about it logically. Everton have the strike power to score goals. We know that.
Yeah.
And Lukaku just always scores.
Speaking of Lukaku, that was his 100th.
It was his 100th.
His 100th league goal.
The boy is there. And I know you did like a bizarre little nude dance at home, most likely, because I know you love him.
Oh, Lukaku.
Yeah. But I think he expected more from West Ham. I thought they might have enough goals in them to at least pull a draw.
Totally. Yeah, well, I see where you're coming from. I thought Everton were excellent. I thought Everton were well worth their win. By the way, I think he's the third youngest player in the Premier League to get to 100 goals.
Yeah, and deserving.
Younger than Alan Shearer.
And he's deserving. The guy
very deserving.
He is...
Oh, and he's only getting better.
I mean, he's as good as anyone out there, and I don't just mean in the Premier League. I know we're a Premier League show, but take a look around.
Oh, no, he's probably the best young striker. I mean, under the age of 24 striker.
Yeah, because, there's all this talk about these other guys like Dybala and Morata and, these guys. But I got to be honest, I would take Lukaku over those guys.
Oh, please. I'd take Lukaku over pretty much anyone you could throw at me.
Yeah, honestly. I would take Aguero because of Liverpool, but I get why you would take Lukaku. I would take him too. I'd just make it work.
Yeah, no, but wow.
Will he stay there though? Do you think he's the sort of guy now where he's at with Koeman? He's obviously playing well now. He's got a system that works for him.
Yeah,
it's kind of semi-built around him.
It is. Well, Bolassi's doing really well.
He's a good foil to him.
He is. He's great. Yeah, and he puts in crosses, which is exactly what he thrives off. And plus, they're playing Barkley a lot closer to him now. Gets into the game.
He's playing better too.
Yeah. Well, this is part of the system that Koeman's slowly bringing in.
Was great for him.
And it's part of the system that Koeman's brought in, a bit of tough love with Barkley, pushing him up closer to Lukaku, talking publicly about, hey, maybe we'll bring Rooney back. All of a sudden, we're seeing Barkley actually come out of his shell a bit more, play as a proper number 10. I'm really liking it. I think that system works for them.
They need a definite second, they need a plan B for left back, though. But anyway.
Yeah, they clearly. But will he leave? I wouldn't be shocked if a massive team, I mean like a Madrid, came in for him. And then what are you going to do? He's probably going to go.
I think that's one of the only teams in the world that I could see him really going to and flourishing that makes sense. Yeah. He could totally do well at someone like Juventus. He's got the strength and whatever.
They don't need him, though.
But they don't need him. Whereas I think Real Madrid, he'd fit in right.
Can
you imagine having Bale and Ronaldo and... Oh, forget it.
Yeah, it would be a ridiculous... And he'd be the perfect replacement for Benzema.
And he'd be scoring like 126 goals a season.
It would be brutal.
It would be brutal. I mean, you talk about the 100 goals he's scored in the Premier League. He did that in his first season.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and that was for teams, with all due respect to them, like West Bromwich Albion,
for sure. I can't imagine it.
Banged in 100 goals at the age of 23.
And Everton, when they weren't Koeman good, when they were under
Martinez
someone
good?
else, and maybe someone else.
He wasn't there at that stage.
I know, but I'm saying that Everton side.
Yeah.
Okay. That was created by your favourite manager.
Yeah, okay. He wasn't there then. I don't think it's a comparison.
Well, Martinez inherited that side.
He did.
So there you go.
I don't think your point is that well made, but yeah,
I
okay.
think it's very well made.
Okay, well, fair enough. No, he also statistically now he's putting as many shots on goal as any striker in the Premier League. So I will actually just talk about him for the whole hour of this podcast, by the way. It would be ridiculous.
His movement.
Oh, he's so good.
Off the ball, his positioning. He's always got his head
powerful running. Oh, please.
How he created that second goal. I mean...
yeah, forget about it.
He's too good.
He's great.
I really respect him, and I got to say, an Everton victory there makes sense. I didn't pick it, but it makes total sense.
Yeah, it does. By the way, does me picking that and you not nullify me getting the dinner? Yeah, thanks very much.
Not at all. It doesn't at all.
Oh, I think it clearly does.
It's not match of the round.
When did this arbitrary rule come in?
Because I make the rules.
Do you?
I'm the stud in StudsUp. This is how it works.
Okay, so I'm just going to turn your mic off.
He really did for a second there,
I
folks.
did, just for a split second. All right, I know what game you want to talk about, so move on to it. Just do it.
You're right. Watford, Hull. No.
I'd love to talk about that game.
Where do we even start with you? I mean, the Red Devils... It makes you sound way more potent than you are. It's the Red Devils without their Viagra. I mean, they are impotent at the moment. They are properly impotent.
I wouldn't go so far as to say impotent.
I would say impotent. 100%. That's what you look. You cannot score. You couldn't score.
But we should have scored.
You couldn't score with a cheap hooker
Hang
after
on.
a big Melbourne Cup win.
Wow. 37 shots. 37.
None of them went in.
Yeah, I know, because Tom Heaton was the reincarnation of Lev Yashin.
I do want to
ridiculous.
give you a hard time, but can we just please take a moment to respect what I think is the best single game performance from a goalkeeper?
Oh, it's a 10 out of 10.
Definitely this season.
Yeah.
Perhaps last, and maybe even the season before that.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? Write in, tell us the last time you saw something this good. I can pick a couple of matches.
37 shots,
It's
y'all.
nuts. But it's not just that, though.
No,
so many of them were on
yeah.
target. I mean, what did he have,
Yeah.
11 saves?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Was it something like 11?
Yeah.
I don't know what the number was, but it was a lot.
Yeah, it was huge.
And it wasn't just the saves.
It was
manner of the
it was the
saves.
insanity of the saves.
One of them, he starfished in midair.
Yeah, that stopped for
forget it.
Ibrahimovic's bicycle kick or scissor kick or however you want to call it. That was ridiculous. He shouldn't have got anywhere near that. Not at the speed, the power that was hit.
I have to agree. I mean, I take such sick pleasure in watching United stumble and continue to stumble and fall and then stumble again. But you can't do anything but... Ragging on United is going to do a huge disservice to that Heaton performance.
Yeah, it does.
A huge disservice. I mean, any other game against any other side, and I don't care whether put Bravo in there.
Yeah.
Make that performance against
City. 3-0.
They're scoring some goals.
3-0.
Well, even if you lost and it was 4-3 because I don't know, something happened.
Yeah. Well, with that defense,
you're not scoring.
4-3.
Yeah, you're not scoring 0 goals in that match. I mean, what do I say?
No,
what do I say?
It was ridiculous. He's a great.
But what's happening to you guys? Is this now? Okay, you can't read into things too much. I get that, but every week I seem to be brushing it off and brushing it off and brushing it off. Now, at what point do we say there's a confidence issue that is having a dramatic effect on their ability to finish off games? At what point?
Well, even to start games, apparently.
Yeah,
let alone
or start
finish
games.
them off. It's so hard to pick, isn't it? Because it's not just one problem. And the other weird thing is we've got players that are actually playing really well. And it's still just not happening. It's just not clicking. And I don't know why. Like, does he change up? Does he keep going? Does Mourinho keep going with his methods?
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
Mkhitaryan.
Oh, ridiculous.
This is a game he could have made a difference in as well.
Yeah.
Yet he wasn't even an option.
I know.
So
I don't know what's going on there.
Is he gone? I mean, was
He
it one and
better
out?
not be.
Is it one and out for him?
No, he better not be. Did you hear, by the way...
There's a lot of rumours about it.
No, I know, and that's insanity. I mean, Mourinho can't make a call on that player after one game when you debuted him in a derby.
When
that's
he also had a very slow
ridiculous.
Season in 2013 when he joined Borussia Dortmund.
Yes, exactly. And then he came to life and destroyed the Bundesliga.
He did.
He
came alive.
You can't write off a player like that. He was brought in to be the tricky winger who can play on either wing, who has speed, who has 2 feet, who can assist, who can score.
Something different.
Absolutely. I don't know why they're not playing him.
You know, and Lingard had a decent game, by the way.
I really like Lingard.
If you're going to take off Lingard at any point and bring someone else on, I think that he would have been a more interesting choice for a game like this.
Yeah.
You know, because imagine he comes on in a game like this and he breaks the game.
boom.
Well, you've just
Confidence
you've
is
ignited his
sky
season.
high,
And if they
yeah.
don't, you literally say, guys, this was a team issue.
Hey, it was
it's not on you. You
Ibra
came
could
on
have
as a
scored.
sub.
Yeah,
Correct.
totally.
P.S. though, Ibra has now had something like 426 shots on goal in the last few games.
Do you want to hear the actual stat?
What is it? Tell me. What is
since Ibrahimovic last scored, he has had 42 shots at goal, which, by the way, and this is the most bizarre stat of all, that is more than any other player has had in the entire season. That's just since Ibra has last scored a goal. 42 shots.
Oh, wow.
More than any other player in the entire Premier League season. That is insane.
Well, that actually says two things here. It means you're still creating chances.
Yeah. You know that we've created
you're not
more
finishing
chances
them.
statistically than Man City. That's insanity.
Yet City have scored 24 goals and United have scored 13.
See? So what's the real issue here? This is what I come back to and say there's clearly a functioning team waiting to come out of that shell.
And you've only conceded 3 more than City.
It's so weird,
and yet
isn't
you're
it?
on 15 points.
I know,
after 10
which is
games.
less than Moyes, which is less than Van Gaal, and yet the team looks better. It doesn't make any sense. The more I think about it, the more exacerbated I get about it.
I actually don't. I love to revel. I'm a reveler.
I know.
I've been
you
called
love a good
reveler.
Yeah.
I love a good revel. I almost don't know what to say to revel anymore because
it's so weird.
The jokes play themselves out, but I know that around the corner is like an 8-0 thrashing of some massive side because you've got it in you. I mean, my tip for the season is well and truly busted. I tipped United to win at the very start. Prior to all the transfers, admittedly, prior to the close of the transfer window. So there were a few things I didn't factor in there. I also didn't factor in how quickly Guardiola would adapt to the season. But I can't believe how wrong I have got it. I get that they may not have won. I mean, I get things wrong all the time.
Yeah.
This is a little bit. This is a little bit
getting
Liverpool-esque.
silly. Yeah, no, and you know what?
This is a touch of you have a touch of the Liverpools about you because
it's more than a touch.
When I was watching that match,
Yeah.
it's actually really horrible to say, but I felt like I was watching Liverpool from 2 seasons ago.
Yes, so did I. It was starting to really glum me out.
It just felt so Brendan Rodgers. We just sold Suarez and we now suck.
Doesn't it kind
That's
of
what it felt like.
But doesn't it feel like? I hate saying this publicly. Doesn't it feel like there can only be one of Manchester United or Liverpool up, and just the scale of balance
So who's
in
Jerry
life?
Seinfeld in this one? One friend is up, one friend is down.
Arsenal always even out at third. Always.
It's actually true.
Yeah,
it's actually true.
Yeah, they're the Jerry Seinfeld, and now we're George. Since they
last won the league, I think it's something like that. Isn't it that they've never finished outside the top 4 since they last won the league?
Yeah, that's right.
So you're actually right.
Yeah.
Even Stevens are Arsenal, and that means that Man United or Liverpool can be
one
good,
can be
not
up,
both.
one can be down.
Not both.
Yeah, so we've become Costanza.
Wow, you've
become Elaine.
Oh gosh, it's actually pretty hilarious. I got to say, I'm enjoying it, but I'm also befuddled.
But what's the history of it? There's never been a time when they just both. Well, there clearly has been the occasional time when they battle it out for a title,
but not for. I wouldn't say enough.
Not for any sustained period.
Correct.
Now that we're in this decline, all of a sudden you guys are in this big ascendancy.
Could well be in a new era. Correct.
It's so weird.
But I also would reserve judgment at this point.
So would I. But I
say this every week. I say this every week.
So do I.
And we'll get onto our tips in our next podcast, but. Hot tip, I probably make the same mistake that I do every week. That the same mistake I've made, 6 times already with...
Well, I'll tell you what, if we make that mistake and they just keep coming up short, I'm going to start betting against them every week just to hopefully break a hoodoo.
Here's something I want to say, though. United, I don't like the L word, the luck word, but you look at United, and United have only not won 6 games. Well, Tottenham have not won 5 games. There's not much in that, yet there's a 5-point differential because United have lost a couple that they could easily have drawn and perhaps have won. You never know, just if the day was different.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Stoke game when we clearly pummeled them,
and you
look at the Burnley game, that's 4 points. We should
automatically
by right be about 1 off Tottenham by kind of right of the way the season's gone.
And that for me, that would have been probably a more normalised
That would be a
ladder.
fair snapshot of how we're actually playing, I think. But,
mate, it's
but
on
you know
you
what?
now.
Also, the table doesn't lie. So I can't come out here and say, hey, we're 4 points off because Lady Luck has been stuffing us.
I just don't know what to tell you. I mean, look, I want to touch on... I did mention Arsenal, and don't want to spend too long on it, but I was really impressed with Arsene Wenger's Giroud substitution because he broke the game, and P.S. I may be the only Giroud fan that I know.
No, I like him.
Oh, you do like him?
Yeah,
Oh,
I do like him.
Good. One other person. You know what? Tell us if you like Giroud. I would like to know about it.
Yeah.
Because I do like him. I think he's underrated, and I think he's definitely suffered under the new system. He reminds me of Sturridge.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit the system that Wenger's created, but he's
what a
got
plan
goals in
B.
him. Yeah.
But what a plan B.
Correct.
I mean, he's never going to be even like a Benzema who'll come into the Arsenal team, get 23 goals in a season, and you go, poor, you've just won them a league.
Correct.
But he's going to get you 15, 16 goals, I mean, he's a very good striker. He's not elite, but he's still very good.
Definitely. I like Giroud. 2 goals for him. Welcome return to form.
And now that Arsenal have found a system to play without him, without having to spunk huge amounts of money on a new striker,
yes,
he is an incredible plan B to have.
Yep.
When your day's not quite going right for you, you can chuck him on for half an hour.
He actually means a lot to that side.
Yeah, he does, because
he means a lot to that side.
he is the only other option they have to break a game when their normal tippy-tappy let's walk it in doesn't work.
But can you imagine that he will stay there under this context?
Yeah.
I don't. I think if someone made a good enough bid, he'd go.
Really?
Yeah.
I reckon he's going to... But you think about it this way, if they really do make a good push for the title, which is perfectly reasonable this year...
But
why would you leave?
I could picture Giroud working better. This might sound a little odd. I could see him partnering with Harry Kane at Tottenham and being amazing. He'd be dead because
he's never leaving.
The Arsenal fans would kill him.
Yeah.
But something like that would make a lot of sense. So really, I mean, imagine him alongside Lukaku at Everton.
Yeah, but he's not going to join Everton from Arsenal if Arsenal finish second and Everton finish, say, sixth.
But if Arsenal win the league and he's got that out of the way, I could see him leaving.
No, I reckon he'd hang around.
Fair enough.
I reckon he would.
I don't know.
He's French. I think he's got the Wenger connection. I reckon he'd hang in there.
Southampton.
Well, yeah, again, that would be okay, but why would you leave a possible title winner to join Southampton?
To never play. But, well, I'll tell you why. I think if he gets the inclination that he could play for France more if he was a starter all the time, then he may go. That's a big lure to a lot of players.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of players make moves that I almost don't understand on that basis, so why not him?
No, I kind of get that, but if you'd rather be...
You only kind of get it because you're a United supporter.
No, but if you're a great plan B for France, and you keep playing games, you keep playing 35 minutes for your country every time, and you're banging in goals, does it matter if you start? Wouldn't you rather be an insanely great plan B than a mediocre plan A?
He wouldn't. Whoever thinks of themselves as a plan B, though? That's the point. I mean, even Bentner thought he was plan A for crying out loud. Bentner.
No. Bentner thought he was plan A++.
Yeah,
that guy's arrogance was
AAA+.
He was off the chain.
The most unjustifiably arrogant player in Premier League history.
By the way, did you know, that he once took a psychology test and actually got an 11 out of 10? And this team sports psychologist said it's actually impossible. They only write it into the stats to see if it could ever happen theoretically, and he got it. His self-confidence was so sky high, he never thought he could do anything wrong in any scenario.
Do you know why, though? They obviously don't have an adjustment filter for delusion.
Clearly.
Because there's confidence and then there's delusion.
Yeah. He plays for Nottingham Forest, by the way, now.
The fact that he keeps playing, it's amazing.
He's only like 30.
I know, yes, but I mean, he wasn't even good enough to play football, let alone have that stoic arrogance.
Yeah, no,
I mean, for me, I put him right alongside David Luiz in the most "how the hell are they footballers" category. Like, it shocks me.
He's actually somehow against all the odds in pretty good form. So we should probably move on to the Chelsea game.
It's just shocking.
It's weird, isn't it?
I know neither of us picked this. Neither of us picked this game.
Out of sheer hope, I think, than expectation.
I'm glad you said it, because that's the truth. I was hoping for a Southampton win, A, because my fantasy team is full of them.
Yeah.
So that really hurt me this week. And secondly, I just don't like Chelsea.
Yeah. But Chelsea did pummel Southampton. It was proper... it was a doing over.
2-0 probably didn't reflect the game.
No, it did not. But, full credit to Conte. He stumbled into a team low on
You know what?
confidence.
No credit for Conte.
None at all.
No, how about that?
What? Why?
What do you say to that?
Well, I say you're wrong because
No,
he
I'm giving
clearly
that-
deserves some credit.
No credit.
Why no credit?
No.
Well,
I-
yeah,
I just-
but why the lack of credit?
Just no. I'm sick of them.
He brought in new players. He's changed formation.
I
He's
don't-
brought the best out of
don't-
Hazard.
I don't
He's
like
made...
that it's all worked. I don't like
Oh,
it.
it's...
I don't like it. So no credit.
It's more just your spiteful hatred
Yes.
of Chelsea means that
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah, spite.
bestow some much needed
Spite
and
is the
deserved credit.
Spite is the word. Yeah, correct. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Okay, well, I'm not ashamed to admit that Conte deserves some credit.
You know what? You do that.
Hey, he changed formation to a back three.
Very easy when you're looking up at the rest of the league. You have to give credit to everybody. You have no choice.
In terms of placing improvement, though, he took over a Chelsea team that finished,
100%.
11th, and he's
Yeah.
got them up to 5th.
Yeah.
It's a good improvement.
Yeah, good on him. That's great.
Wow.
There's just no way you can win this
The
with me.
lack of... What
There's
about,
nothing here.
What about Eden Hazard? He had a great game.
Yeah, I don't like Eden Hazard.
Because he joined Chelsea? Or?
I hope he leaves.
Yeah, to where?
Honestly, I don't care. You could go to Kinderminster. I wouldn't...
Luton Town.
Yeah, Luton Town. No, I like Luton Town. Wouldn't do that to him.
But you don't like Kinderminster?
I don't really know too much about them. I don't think it's going to hurt me too much. Their one fan out there is not going to come and find me.
I think they're in the conference, so I think you're okay.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay, well, I don't know where to go
No,
with
fair
this.
play. Fair play to Chelsea.
There it is.
Fair play to Chelsea. They're doing really well, and I don't like that Diego Costa scored that ripper of a goal.
He is in great form.
Well, the form striker.
Yeah.
I say striker because
With Lukaku.
Yeah, him and Lukaku he's the outright leader in the Premier League goal scoring now.
He looks
On his
excellent
own.
too.
Yeah, no, he does. And what's concerning me is I don't know who's going to stop this freight train because they're building up a head of steam now.
They are.
What will, though, is a team like a City and, the guys that are really going to... No one has so far taken the opportunity. I thought it was going to be United.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. But I know someone will. Someone's going to exploit the fact that their back three comprises of David Luiz and Gary Cahill.
Yeah, and that their wing backs are a winger and a failed Serie A player.
Spot on. Someone is going to do it. I hope it happens soon, and I hope it's brutal.
Yeah, while I'm with you on that, I have to still give him credit for finding a way to make that team purr again because it's been impressive. Even you would have to admit it's been impressive.
Stoke Swansea, pretty much as we expected.
Okay, Stoke Swansea it is.
We were pretty close to the score.
Wow.
We both were pretty close. Both got 2-1 there. That was another freaky game that we both chose practically the same score.
Yeah, it was 3-1, by the way, to Stoke.
To Stoke, yeah. We both tipped 2-1, so close enough.
And Stoke are on the rise.
Yeah, they're on the rise. So good to see them out of that relegation.
It is, isn't it?
Group, yeah. I mean...
Well, they have the players to bring them up to mid-table.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
About where? Do you
12th. About 12th.
If anyone has not been listening, if you're a new listener, go back through some of the podcasts. You'll find that Garfield only has one mode. If you're outside the top 8 where you're quite challenging,
about 12th.
You're about 12th.
Or relegated. Yeah, that's it.
Relegated.
They're either 12th or relegated.
That's all he's got.
Yeah. I actually think they should be finishing about 10th, but 12th was close enough. It's close enough.
I don't think they'll get... I think we both agreed. I think they'll probably labour in 15th, 16th or 17th. That's probably their...
Oh, you reckon they'll go that low?
I reckon that's their happy place this
I reckon they
season.
could pull as high as 14th and be quite comfy.
I just think everyone above West Ham is down there.
Yeah, but I mean, Burnley's going to drop.
Yeah.
Hull are already dropping.
Yeah, but they're the relegation fodder.
Yeah, well...
It's pretty much Hull, Sunderland... Definitely Sunderland. And
Burnley, you
and
reckon?
Burnley, probably.
But, Swansea will be down there.
Unless Heaton keeps blocking every goal
just
known to
becomes
man.
the most miraculous keeper who ever
Literally
lived.
becomes a wall.
Yeah.
He actually morphs into a brick. They go to his room and they knock and they're like, "Hey, mate, where are you? Why aren't you ready?" They walk in there.
He's a brick now.
What is this pile of bricks?
Yeah, he's
and there's
just
a
brick.
note sitting there going, "I have just become a pile of bricks. Please place me in goal."
I will still make saves.
So yeah, you could be
Stupid
right.
ex-players.
You could be right. But a game I do want to talk about, especially considering United's horrendous performance, is Liverpool.
Who played very well.
Who played the quintessential Liverpool match.
Yeah.
Where we gifted 2 goals to the opposition that they basically didn't deserve. Oh, no, not didn't deserve, that's mean. probably you wouldn't have expected those goals to be scored.
Benteke, I still thought, had a pretty good game.
Yeah, but Liverpool had a dominance that was freaky. I mean, the first 25 minutes of that match, they were just inviting a goal.
Yeah.
It was possibly the most idiotic approach to a Liverpool game I think anyone could have made.
Yeah.
Pardew was full of superlatives for Liverpool at the end of the match. He said they are the toughest team we've faced this season.
Yeah.
And they've faced some good ones. So, that's a great plaudit, and that's fantastic. But I also think that he invited Crystal Palace to be on the back foot with that approach. And they looked clearly they obviously conceded a lot of goals. I mean, 4 goals, and it could have been way more than that. I mean, it could have been 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
The way we were going. I just think that if you don't take the game to Liverpool, they're going to still bang 4 past you if you're not careful.
And that's the problem.
At least try and score. At least try. I mean, they invited those goals, and when they scored, at no point was I ever truly concerned that we weren't going to win the game. That might sound a little arrogant.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Now, that's an old Manchester United kind of belief right there.
Yeah, and that was a weird feeling. I found myself after the match pondering why I felt that way.
Because you always know you've got more goals in you now.
I just kept watching going, okay, they scored, they equalised. That was our fault anyway. The goal is practically an own goal. We'll score again. And then we did. And then they scored the second one. I thought, we'll score. I mean, look at us. We're definitely going to score again. Then we did. Yeah. And then we scored again. I'm like, oh, right.
It was a carve-up. It was like turkey dinner.
Yeah, it's kind of... And it could have been worse.
It could have been.
We didn't look... Conceding 2 goals and saying it didn't look like we were ever going to lose is a weird thing to say.
Isn't it odd?
But that's how I felt.
Yeah. And Firmino is just... I'm running out of superlatives for the kid.
Yeah. Coutinho's doing well. But, here's the weird thing about Coutinho. Apart from that first match with that free kick, which was just, oh, my gosh. That's one of the plays of the season so far. Apart from that, he's been unspectacular, but really putting in the business. I mean, he's getting the assists. 2 of the goals were his assists. Yep. He scores. He's always putting pressure on the keeper, the defense. He's backtracking. I think there's no way to ignore the fact that he is still probably our best player.
Yeah.
Because he's found some consistency this season. And I think that consistency is what's making him really rise above it.
I think Firmino and Lallana are better cogs for you, which isn't to necessarily say that Coutinho isn't your best player, if you know what I mean.
If you gave him all a rating, I think he'd rate the highest, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Those other guys are more, quote, important.
Coutinho's proved me wrong because I've always thought good player, too inconsistent to ever be considered like
this
top
season.
class.
Yeah.
Now I look at his stats and just go, well, my hands are up in the air to say, hey, I got that one wrong. It's ridiculous.
For his position, his stats are better than everyone else's.
Yeah, they're insane.
Better than Hazard.
Now. Yeah.
He just hasn't made any of those, apart from that, again, that first goal, these mazy runs where he scores at the end. Having said that, though, I've actually preferred him this season because he's been a lot more head up and passing the ball.
And diligent.
Yeah, not as much because last season, the only criticism I could make of him was that he was a little bit... You got to be selfish, but he was a little bit selfish in the wrong instances last season and wasted opportunities.
He would try and do the Gerrard, as it were.
Yeah.
And score that 30-yard screamer to take the glory, but he just doesn't do it enough. His shot stats from outside the box are quite terrible when you break them down.
He scores wonder goals. He does.
He does.
But what he doesn't realise is that when people come at you and they've worked out that you are a talisman and you're really important to the club, well, they'll put 2 and 3 on you. That makes it harder to score, but it also means that you're opening up play for other people. So invite them to play. And that's why if you notice Liverpool's scoring charts, I think it's like 6 players that have 3 or 4 goals.
Yeah.
There's no standout performer that's got 8. Like
but
a
that's
Chelsea.
Always been the beauty of Klopp's system because it so systematically breaks down lines vertically as opposed to horizontally.
100%.
Everyone's always running at you all the time, looking for space, looking for the next pass.
And Henderson is having a good season. I don't know how often I've ever been able to say that, but he's stepping up. And I think
season,
the Klopp effect. Yeah, the first season, and then nothing for a while.
Yeah.
And he had a good season, obviously, the season we nearly won the title.
Yeah, he was
but so
solid.
did everyone, apart from the defence. So.
He was solid that year without being spectacular.
But Lovren, he's still a calamity. Our defence is far from settled. We need another centre-back, for sure.
Yeah, but I imagine you're going to buy one.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a shame about Sarko, really, for you guys.
I know, because he would have been good. But that's done.
Him and Matip, would have been quite tasty together, I would have thought.
Matip is damn good.
Yeah, he's real. For a free transfer,
that header as well. That headed goal. Anyway, I don't want to waste too long on Liverpool. We do that every week because I love them. Sorry about that, folks.
Should we move on to Watford versus Hull?
Yeah, because, I mean, you were just telling me something that I didn't even... I think I heard it, but I wasn't sure. Watford did win the game 1-0.
They did. And they won without a single shot on target.
Which sounds impossible.
That is a ridiculous statistic.
If you didn't watch the match, it was a deflected goal.
It was. And they did hit the woodwork a few times.
Yeah, I think it was 3 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
They dominated the match.
Yeah, they clearly outplayed Hull, but to win without a single shot on target...
It's amazing.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's excellent.
It's
excellent.
That is bragging rights galore. If you can turn around, and just be like, hey, guess what? We can win games without even getting shots on target anymore.
Would United have traded in their 37 shots on goal?
I'll take 37 shots off goal if we still win 1-0.
He threw his pen. It went flying.
Yes, I will take 3.7 shots on goal if we can still win without having one on target.
Dead set.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ridiculous stat.
That's a ridiculous stat. I can't believe that's even true. That is so insane.
If anyone can find any other time in the history of pretty much any league where that's ever happened, please write into our Facebook page, StudsUp. Yeah, I would love to just hear the context of how that even happened. Yeah. Was it an own goal?
I mean, there were many games that we played back at school where we had no shots on goal.
Oh, yeah, but then we'd lose 9-0.
We lost.
Yeah, we would lose 9-0.
Or at least draw, you know?
And then the'd be 4 of those would be own goals.
By
certain players who shall remain nameless in a public sphere.
Oh God, Kings boys, you know who we're talking
about. I still remember, this is going to bore everyone else, so I apologise for a moment. I still remember, I think the greatest goal I've ever seen live was an own goal.
Was our defender
turning back and thumping one in from about 40 yards into the top right-hand corner.
Stunning.
I still to this day don't know how he turned to his own goalkeeper and just thumped it into the top corner.
Thunderous. And he was out, well, not wide. It wasn't on the wing, but... I mean, that was a top shot. It was curled.
It was 40 yards.
Yeah, it was.
It was brutal.
I remember our poor keeper, how he felt about that. I mean, there's nothing he could do or say.
No, it was top corner.
Top corner.
Anyway, that was our football upbringing, by the way. So
this is how awful we were as players.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Remember when I was player-coach? Oh, weren't those the days?
Those were the days. You know, a match that we tipped correctly, but the score was totally wrong. I want to say that I'm surprised that neither of us said it, even though we sort of alluded to it, the Man City game against West Brom.
Yeah.
You know, we both tipped the City victory.
Well, we thought at home WBA might shut up shop and...
Oh my goodness, they just got pummeled.
Yeah, but
Aguero.
You know what? They over... No, you know what though? WBA over shut up shop. When you're playing Johnny Evans in midfield,
nuts.
You've gone too far. Yeah, you've over shut up shop.
It's insane.
Yeah, you can't do anything. You can't even draw a game if you've got 6 defenders out on the field.
Honestly. These are the games that frustrate me with them, because when I see those games that they win and they play this glorious football when they want to, you know, with Nasser Chadley powering through the middle.
Yeah, they can counterattack with the best of them.
They can look good, but and they had a moment. They had a moment in this game, you know, a good 10 or 12 minute period where they started going forwards, and I thought,
finally, you're out of the cage.
It was too late.
Yeah.
But I got to say, Aguero, of course, broke the game. 2 goals. I mean, you can't keep him down.
No.
his goal-scoring drought was like, what, 2 games?
Yeah. I think it got to 4 and everyone's like, whoa. Yeah. But you can't ever keep him down.
You can't keep him down. He's just phenomenal.
No,
I love the guy.
The real star.
It's my man crush.
Yeah, I know. You are in love with
Big
Aguero.
Man crush, yeah.
No, you know the real star of that show, though, was Gundogan, or however you want to pronounce his name. Gundogan, is it? Yeah. I can never pronounce it. He is ridiculous.
Yeah.
For £20 million, he's already effectively the best central midfielder in the league.
And I don't want to say, but Moneybags had a good game too.
Yeah, I know.
He had a good game. Sterling.
Good old Raheem.
Yeah.
But that team is just, when it fires, forget about it.
You just don't want to see that happen to you.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I never want to see it again.
But having said that, I have this equal fear and aching to see this match between Liverpool and City, because I just think it's dynamite.
No, it's going to be.
They're going to put 7 past us.
Yeah.
I just want to know if we can put 8 past them. That's what I want to know. That's the question I need answered. Can we do it?
If Claudio Bravo's in goal, maybe.
But I'm not joking.
Yeah,
and I think
maybe.
We could turn John Stones so inside out that you'd be counting his tendons. Honestly, like
that he'd be playing Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah, dead set. I think that defense does not look good against that sort of Liverpool side. Like what Tottenham did to them. I definitely think Liverpool.
Oh,
can
I can see the same thing happening.
and more goals. Seriously, as an attacking force, Liverpool look better than Tottenham.
Yeah, no, I get you. No, I cannot correct you on this.
There you
I think your defence looks like a piece of crap comparison to Tottenham's, but
Yes, it does.
offensively, you are definitely the better of the two sides.
That's right.
Does that make you happy?
It does make me very happy.
Okay, well, there you go. As long as you're happy, stupid.
That's what makes sense.
Anyway, let's move on to the last game of this round that we both tipped incorrectly. Even though I said at the time,
I knew it.
I think
I know.
Borough have got this in them.
I'm with you, but I like the cherries.
So do
like
I.
them.
Yeah.
But I got to say, Aman Traore,
He's quick.
he's so good. Yeah, but not just that, his vision is very good
Yeah.
now. That was a really good ball in that
It
set up
was.
the goal.
It was.
Come on.
No, he's good. Hey, they found a little gem there.
But Ramirez.
And
It's all about the Ramirez
I know.
goal.
And they changed their formation beautifully.
Yep.
They brought, Stuart Downing back into the team.
They look better.
Ramirez was at number 10. They switched to this kind of weird, almost 4-5 or 4-4-1-1, basically, I guess.
kind of, yeah.
I guess.
It was almost like 4-2-3-1-ish.
Kind of, but the wingers were pushed quite deep a
They
lot
were.
of the time.
They were. That's what was really confusing me about
Yeah.
what the hell their formation
Yeah, it was like 4-4-1-1.
It's just their wingers are so fast.
Yeah,
they're in
just
defense, then they're in
yeah,
attack.
yeah.
And it's in the same 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So
No, it was
Go
good,
figure.
but they also played with like that nice 2 blocks of 4 that you kind of want if you're a relegation
Yeah.
fodder kind of team, like, which by right they kind of should be, even though they've got some really good players.
for sure. They've restored my faith.
Yeah,
Because
it was a good
started
win.
waning. Because I really believed in them at the start of the season, and then my belief started waning a fraction.
Yeah.
And the Wayne is gone. There's no more Wayne. Wayno has left. Ciao, Wayne.
I wish Wayne.
Goodbye, Wayne.
I wish Wayne had left my team as well. Like, just saying.
No, you guys are well on the Wayne with Wayne.
I don't want to be on the Wayne.
You're
with
a
Wayne.
double Wayne. You're
don't-
Wayne squared.
No. I want to be Sans all Wayne.
You're a serial Wayner.
I don't want to be George. All right, I don't want to be George.
You're a serial Wayner. Oh, he's throwing the pen in disgust. He's
Summer
done.
George.
He's done.
Actually, yeah. You know what? I am done with this podcast. I'm going to wrap it up here because we've been through the whole round. Please join us for our next podcast where we're going to do a preview of the next round of the EPL. Every team's going to finish 12th, I swear to God. Anyway, I've been Garfield. I've been here with Simon Says. By the way, if you want to leave us any comments, you can always go to our Facebook page. It's just StudsUp.